Right, hello there guys, welcome back to a new video. Now I'm sort of sticking with the vibe of the car review sort of videos where I sort of discuss good, bad points about this car and all that sort of stuff. So in today's video what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that I get asked quite a lot. Why is this a good first car? And also, would I consider one as a first car? So we're going to jump into that. Right. So the first reason why I believe these are a good car is because they are really cheap to buy. If you watch my last video about this car, where I discuss how much you're looking to spend on one and sort of other bits and bobs like that, you'll realise how cheap these cars in fact are, especially if you get a great one. I'll leave a link down below to the video that I'm on about, so you can hear what I have to say about how much these cars are worth. But you can pick these up anywhere from £600 up to sort of £2,500, so they are considerably cheap to buy. Now along with that, these cars are also very cheap to run as well, especially as first cars. I had one as a first car. For those of you that are long-term subscribers of the channel, you would know that. And for my first year, the insurance was just over £1,000 for me, which in terms of which in terms of insurance for a first-time driver, that's pretty good, because I was running quotes on sort of 1.2 CRI Beefers and stuff like that, and they were coming back at 1,500 quid a year. This is a 1.5 petrol, and it came back at just over £1,000. I admit it was black boxed, which a lot of people are going to have to go for a first time car, because you can't really seem to get away with cheap insurance not black boxed nowadays for a first car. But yeah, so they are cheap to run, cheap on petrol. Road tax is £195 a year if you're in England, which is sort of mediocre for any car of this age and engine size. And these cars are pretty economical, but I'll go into figures of that again later on in this video. So on to the next point. Right, so the next point that I want to make is that these cars are also very cheap to maintain. As you would have heard me discuss in a previous video, in fact my previous video to do this car, you would hear that there ain't really much maintenance that needs to be done. It's just general upkeep, so keep the car serviced, stuff like that. There's barely any mechanical common issues on this car, so that means that you won't be swapping out parts all the time and all that sort of stuff. But also, these cars will be easy to swap out parts on, because the engine bay is very basic and everything is very easy to get to. So that's another good point. Now, to go along with what I was saying in regards to the cars being cheap to maintain and all that, these cars are also very reliable. Yet again, as you would have heard me mention in the previous video, these cars are very low maintenance. They go on forever. They're chain driven engines, so you won't be replacing belts every 50,000 miles or however long it is. So you've got nothing really to worry about mechanically in regards to these. And they always start up on the key. They don't, like I said, they don't have many common issues. So yeah, they're really reliable cars. Now, the sort of market that these cars will be made for is sort of boy first cars, so you're sort of like looking at boy racery sort of people. And for a Yaris, these aren't bad looking cars, to be fair. I think they're pretty good looking, so you get ultimate street cred for good looks already. So yeah, that's another reason why I think it's a good first car, especially for boys. Don't mean to sound sexist by saying that, but yeah, they are good looking cars. another good point about this car is, considering the fact that it's a very small car, it is pretty roomy for what it is. Like, I can get 3 fully grown adults in the back of this car, with plenty of, well, I would say plenty of room, but with considerable room. Also the luggage space, so the boot space, it's small but usable. And also the back bench seat actually pulls forwards and pushes backwards depending on what you're using the car for. So you can pull it forwards towards the front seats if you want more boot space, and you can push it backwards if you need more leg space. So it's a very utilile car. I think that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not too sure. Anyway, that's another point. Now, for the billionth time of me talking about this car, it's economical. For those of you that have followed my channel for ages, I always go on about how economical these cars are. Urban MPG, around about 42. Ultra urban or extra urban, whatever it's called, motorways, you're looking at figures of 47 to 49 MPG. Depending on your driving style as well, that can fluctuate too. I've managed to get my old Yaris up to about 63 MPG, I think it was. I managed to get it up to before. So yeah, economical car, and like I said earlier, cheap to run. Another point, which is something that is obviously to consider for a first car, these cars are really, really easy to drive. The steering is really light. The clutch is quite heavy and it has a lot of feel to it, but it's easy to get used to. Well, the first ever time I drove my first T-Sport, I didn't stall it. I found the clutch bite really easy, and it's very much the same with this clutch as well. So they're easy to drive, light steering, easy clutch. In terms of acceleration, depending on what gear and what rev range you're in, they can accelerate quite quickly or they can be quite slow. You just need to sort of stay up in the revs if you're looking for speed. But the accelerator is pretty responsive. The brakes, they work. They're all right. Obviously, it depends what brake pads and discs and stuff you're running, but easy to drive. Ignore my mistake earlier, but the gearbox is really nice as well. If you're wondering what did happen, I lifted my foot off the clutch when I put it into neutral to change gear, if that makes sense. And then for some reason tried to put it into gear, but that's what happened there. But the gearbox is easy to use. I need to get this point in at this point. Flip the camera around to face straight, please, please, please. No, as in this way. Right, we're going to say F the police. But these are really, really, really fun to drive and really easy to corner. Sort of, as I just proved there, you can chuck it into a corner at a considerable amount of speed and it'll make it round perfectly fine. Yeah, again, this is referring to sort of like the boy racery sort of type of people. Yeah, easy to drive, fun to drive, and you look cool doing it. Right, and the final point is the dashboard. You'll have cinematics playing now as I'm talking. The dashboard is really, really basic. It's really easy to press all the relevant buttons you need. You've got your steering wheel controls, and yeah, and obviously, like I said, you can't replace the original radio in this, but you can put an aftermarket one in, which will go down here. And even this is really easy to use and really easy to sort of like feel for. Plenty of cubby holes. I've gone over that in previous videos. 2 front cup holders, 1 back. I actually prefer using this back one. I find it easier to grab from here than here. So yeah, again, you've got another personal preference. But yeah, just the dash layout is basic and easy to use. Right, so that's pretty much all I'm going to cover for today. These are the 10 reasons why I believe this will make a good first car for you guys, because I see you guys commenting all the time saying, oh, is it a good first car? Going for a Yaris Club, looking at getting one for a first car, is this a good thing? Here you go, here's your answers. Yes, it is a good first car. I know that, well, it sort of depends upon your budget. If you've got a tight budget for a first car like I had, my parents used my savings that they had made up. Yeah, they had used my savings that they had built up over the years of me being a kid, and I had quite a tight budget when it comes to buying a first car. So this was very affordable, but obviously I've gone through insurance, tax, stuff like that, cost to buy, very affordable, and it was sort of what I was looking for. I was looking for a Japanese car. I was looking for a quick Japanese car, and for the car it is pretty quick. So there you go. So without further ado, I'm going to end this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, don't forget the notification bell, all that good stuff, blah blah blah. Comment down below if you are considering getting one of these as a first car. Yet again, I'd like to see who's actually interested in getting one of these, especially for a first car, so let me know if you are. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video.